It's Conduit News Radio with Paul Harrell.
Welcome back to the program. We got on the line for us Mr. Joey McCutchen is with us. He's a Fort Smith attorney. He is a Freedom of Information Act law expert and advocate. Joey, welcome back, sir. Joey, do we have Joey? Have we lost Joey? It sounds like we haven't lost him, but I don't know. Is he here? Well, let's see if we can't get Joey back on the line. How about that? So, when we're gonna get Joey back on as soon as we can. The reason we want to have him on, though, is because Joey is recently filed suit against Preferred Family Healthcare. Preferred Family Healthcare is the company out of Missouri. Okay, we have Joey back with us. Joey, how are you, sir?
Doing well, Paul. How you doing this morning?
I'm doing good. Good morning to you. So tell us,
morning.
We got a few stories to get to, a few updates. You filed suit against Preferred Family Healthcare, right? Tell us what that's about.
Right, yeah, it's about an illegal exaction suit, which basically what we're trying to do is get back all these public funds that were generated from tax dollars that were misapplied and illegally spent by Preferred Family Healthcare.
So this has to do with, I mean, this is the Missouri company that was supported extensively by, Arkansas taxpayer dollars, federal taxpayer dollars. They are at the center in a lot of ways of the entire scandal. I mean, some people refer to it as a Medicaid mafia. Their ties just go deep into Arkansas politicians. Basically, they have been bribing Arkansas politicians, and those politicians looks like they've been passing bills on their behalf. And so you're saying that money needs to be, because of the nefarious criminal activity around it, that money needs to be returned?
Absolutely. That's what we're saying. It's just a total misuse of funds. And it's Arkansas dollars also, as we both know. Federal dollars are Arkansas dollars also, but clearly this involves Arkansas taxpayer money that was used to pay bribes, World Series tickets, lake houses in Carroll County, chartered flights for vacations, beach homes, and everything else under the sun. And we'll be doing some discovery to find out more and more.
I mean, they certainly can't be a fan of yours in this instance. And we've had some pleas come out from executives, people who were on the executive team in Preferred Family Healthcare. That they've made some pleas, and I think there's going to be a lot more information coming out about who knew what, when did they know it. Obviously, you've got the plea of Milton Rusty Cranford, who is also at the apex of this. I mean, he is the guy that really had his hands in everything. And he's also the guy that, according to the government, tried to have the New Jersey witness murdered by a murder for hire plot. I keep telling people that because you would think that would make the news every time they mention this whole scandal, but the mainstream media, Joey, doesn't seem to be concerned in letting people know just how bad this has gotten.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely a well-oiled scheme from Rusty Cranford on down. They hire folks that are Robin Ravindran, who was a Medicaid guru, was an expert in Medicaid rules. I mean, appointed by the governor to the Legislative Criminal Justice Oversight Task Force in April of 2015. We're talking, we just don't know at this point how much in terms of this illegal exaction suit that we're talking, but what we do know is between 2011 and 2016, Preferred Healthcare received $52 million in Arkansas Medicaid funds. Certainly, a lot of that was probably not misapplied or illegally spent, but we just don't know the answer to that yet.
Okay.
But with the, from March 1, 2014 until June of 2018, we know that Preferred Family engaged in this scheme to illegally bill the state of Arkansas Medicaid program, and it's really a sad state of affairs when you got
and how much of that money, that goes from the taxpayer to them, do they turn around and use it, to pay off legislators or to give them money so that they will ensure more taxpayer dollars? Basically, you can't use taxpayer money to even if it wasn't a bribe and you're saying, well, we're just lobbying people. You can't do that. You can't use taxpayer money to then lobby, for more taxpayer money. But that seems to be what they were doing for a long time.
Yeah, influence peddling. It's
right.
Just take it, and then they had this general improvement fund money. They had a scheme. They created phony invoices for work never performed, excessive reimbursement for vehicles for several of the directors of Preferred Family Health, illusory management contracts. I mean, it was a well-oiled scheme. They had all the pieces in play, and that's why, the two purposes in this lawsuit: full and fair accountability for taxpayer dollars, and also more transparency. We're happy to work with, the federal government. We know that they're busy at work on this, but we want this information. We want a spotlight on this information. We want transparency, and figure out and get the taxpayer dollars back for the citizens of Arkansas.
Yeah. Is there any? Do you think is there anybody in the government of the state of Arkansas that you would that would agree with this goal, that also wants to get this money, see this money returned to the taxpayers?
I would think so. We've heard, of course, we've heard the same song and dance in the Ecclesia matter. We filed suit, an illegal exaction suit in the Ecclesia matter. We heard that the Attorney General wanted to do that. Yet the Attorney General, at the same time, we had asked to take depositions, for example, of a couple of legislators, Representative Dodson, Representative Collins, and the Attorney General filed a motion to block our deposition. And so how can you want taxpayer dollars back on one hand, and then on the other hand, you're blocking a civil lawsuit from taking depositions, calling legislative privilege?
Yeah, tell me about that, because that's what the Attorney General argued, was that legislative privilege. What is the definition of legislative privilege when it comes to this type of situation?
Well, under certain situations, there's privilege that legislators can assert where they don't have to be subject to a deposition. For example, things that happen on the House floor. The law is unclear now, and that Fayetteville case, there's a case up at the Supreme Court now that we're probably going to get a ruling, so we may have an answer to that question. But recently, the Circuit Court ruled that in the Ecclesia matter that these representatives would not have to, we could not depose them. Although in Ecclesia, they also filed Travis Story, who is Senator Bob Ballinger's partner, filed a motion to dismiss that lawsuit. The judge denied that motion to dismiss. We're proceeding on with the lawsuit. Obviously, we think there's a huge conflict of interest there when Travis Story, who is law partners with Senator Bob Ballinger, and Bob Ballinger gave gift money to Ecclesia. So, it's just again, we're trying to bring transparency to the entire matter, get taxpayer dollars back, the whole thing started with regard to Ecclesia College when our client, Jim Parsons, Lieutenant Colonel Jim Parsons, asked for records. And Ecclesia basically thumbed their nose at them and said, we're not giving you the records. And then they went on with all these, we're a private institution. Well, a private institution that receives $700,000 of general improvement taxpayer money.
So I think it's so. Would you characterize it as a win that the judge did not throw the case out? It's going to go forward, but the judge does side with the attorney general here, saying, and the two legislators that you sought to depose, Representative Charlie Collins, Representative Jim Dotson. Now, you're not alleging that they did anything nefarious here. You were just wanting to try to, or correct me if I'm wrong, right? Are you just trying to get some information from them, right?
Trying to get information, absolutely. See what did happen. Haven't accused them of any wrongdoing, right?
Okay, I'm just making sure. I want to make sure that that's out there. Yeah.
Right. No wrongdoing, but the question remains: why are we giving $700,000 in taxpayer money to a small college in Northwest Arkansas? Makes 0 cents in terms of the purposes of general improvement fund money.
Do you think some of these legislators might not have known what they were giving to in terms of it? Maybe it was the end thing to do, or it was kind of the popular thing to do at the time, but not really having any idea what was really going on for a select group of legislators, who are now Mike and Neal, John Woods, Randall Shelton. They're now behind bars.
I would say some of them probably certainly didn't understand what was going on. Sure, I think that's fair, and we want to be fair. We just want transparency, and conduct reward is conduct repeated. When you're spending taxpayer dollars, you need to be paying attention. You need to be doing it for the right reason, and we just see that there's a slush fund here, and we've done some things in Arkansas to take care of that slush fund. But as you and I both know, there's more as conservatives. There's more slush fund money out there. There's a lot of spending going on out there that goes into another issue. But taxpayers work too hard, and they need to be protected. And when you have things like preferred family health, Ecclesia, that needs to stop.
Yeah. Joey, while I have you on the line, so I think this is the first time we've had you on the show since issue 1, basically collapsed in on itself with Supreme Court decision. What was your reaction with the Supreme Court decision throwing issue 1 off the ballot?
Well, my reaction was that I wanted to vote on November 6th because I think the people saw exactly what this was. It was a price tag on life, and it was an assault on our Constitution. One of the things that keeps coming up, Paul, is our 1874 Constitution, and I think that's a discussion that you need more and more on this show. You'll look at our complaint in the preferred family health care case. We refer to our 1874 Constitution. We were talking on issue 1, this price tag on life. We were talking about the 1874 Constitution, because in 1874 we had a ton of corruption going on, and the general theme of that constitutional convention was a distrust of government. And on issue 1, for legislators to propose to do away with Article 5, Section 32, which said that the legislature cannot place a cap on damages in either personal injury cases or in wrongful death cases. It's unbelievable that it would occur in Arkansas in a time when we're seeing more corruption than maybe any other period other than around that 1874 time. And but you know, the stakes were high because these folks they were full of this special interest. Again, nursing homes. Again, we're talking bribes there. We're talking an $80,000 wire transfer from David Norsworthy, nursing home owner, to Jake Files at the same time.
Who's
that
also
they were
in
trying
jail.
to get him.
Who's also in jail at this point. So
exactly, and we're talking about still out there. Nursing home owner Michael Morton, who bribed a circuit court judge to lower a jury verdict from $5 million to $1 million. Michael Morton still hadn't been charged, but certainly the circuit court judge had. It takes two to tango.
Yeah.
And so during this time of massive corruption, how could this state ever consider taking away the rights of the people, a fair jury trial? That's all anybody's ever wanted, is to let Arkansas jurors listen to the facts and make decisions when people are grievously injured and killed through no fault of their own.
Last question, Joey, while I got you on. The session's coming up, so a lot of people are going to be watching as to what gets referred out to the voters for the next time. We have a sovereign immunity issue at this point because of a Supreme Court ruling in Arkansas where we can no longer sue the state of Arkansas. Do you think that needs to be fixed?
I absolutely do.
Okay.
You know, the king can do no wrong. I mean, what's wrong with that principle,
Yeah.
right?
Well,
the king needs to be held accountable when the king does wrong.
yeah.
And so, yeah, I think that, and it's going to be interesting to see what conservative Arkansas Republican legislators are going to do with their 3 constitutional amendments.
Yeah.
Are we going to go down the road of protecting special interests, or are we going to do what the people of Arkansas want to do? Because what's clear is the people of Arkansas on issue 1 weren't buying what the legislature was selling, because it was not conservative. And Arkansas is a conservative state. Arkansas is a populous state, and so we'll see what they do.
Joey McCutchen, Fort Smith attorney. It's always great to have you on, sir. Keep us posted on all these things. Preferred Family Healthcare, Ecclesia. We want to know more.
All right, we'll be doing a lot of discovery. We'll be keeping you in the loop. We appreciate what you do in bringing transparency to Arkansas, Paul.
Thank you, Joe. I appreciate you. Merry Christmas to you. If I don't talk to you between now and Christmas, okay?
Merry Christmas to y'all. Thanks so much.
All righty.
Bye-bye.
Joey McCutchen, everybody. We're going to take a break. Hey.